One of the keys to my success has literally been the fact that I've sort of stuck to my knitting, so to speak. I've stuck to my core offering for over 20 years. I've been involved in everything to do with human resources, human capital, talent management for a very long period of time. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't evolved and changed service offerings over the years. I haven't reinvented myself several times. I haven't had highs and lows. That's the nature of being in business. But the fact of the matter is, because I have sort of stuck to that core industry, core theme of offerings, I've done incredibly well, and I have a bank of very loyal clients. I would have serviced over 20,000 plus clients over this period. And of course, that means I get repeat business, I get referrals. There's always people who come back in touch with me even 10 years later and say, well, look, now I'm ready for my first board role. Remember, you helped me many years ago with a resume service. So, I've been very fortunate in that I found a career and a way of working that I really enjoyed. And I'm still passionate about it. I'm still interested in people. I still enjoy coaching and writing resumes and interviewing people. All of those fundamentals to my trade has been enjoyable. So it hasn't really felt like hard yards. It hasn't really felt like hard work. Within the discipline itself, though, I've always sort of challenged myself to become better, better qualified, better experienced. And the services have evolved over a period of time, and there've been several checkpoints where I've ramped up education, I've gone and done formal training, and I've developed and developed to a higher level. And so, my service now is more geared towards chairs and non-executive directors and CEOs, and I need to be the best that I can be from a board director perspective, a governance perspective, and so on. It has been an incredible journey. Conversely, I see a number of people who, maybe haven't found their calling in life and they move around a lot. They go from one industry to one industry. And of course, it's always hard to really build that long-term success. When you're constantly sort of on the move and trying to reinvent yourself on a constant sort of basis. I look at other industry icons who are also successful, whether they're in recruitment or whether they're in the real estate industry. A lot of people have, stood, the test of time. They've been in the industry for a long time and they've perfected their processes, they've perfected their craft, and they rinse and repeat in a way. They're constantly delivering, and the fundamentals never change. The systems or the formulas of if you are in real estate and you need to make 100 calls a day, the fundamentals don't shift and you're constantly evolving. And at the same time, you need to be aware of technology changes, changes in service offerings, and reinvent and freshen up what you're offering to the market. So, I feel like I've been very, very fortunate. And every time I kind of think, oh, rose-colored glasses, I'd like to go and do something radically different. You've got to remember that it's a bit like a karma bank. You've built up all of this success over a period of time. And if you were to go and shift industry or do something radically different, you're going to have to start all over again. And so, there's a lot that's gone into building up a reputation, a client base, and so on over a period of time. So, when you're thinking of doing a radical shift, it's important that you look at ways that you can still leverage your relationships, your networks, where you've put the investment over many years. And I always think wherever possible, try and find something that you enjoy doing. Because if you do enjoy doing something, it won't be boring. It won't feel like walking through mud. It will be a pleasant, experience. And that's not to say you might not have highs and lows, but if you fundamentally enjoy at the heart of your business or service offering or, the job that you do, if you fundamentally enjoy it, And if you enjoy working with people, I think you'll find that at the end of the day, a modest, maybe even an incredible level of success will follow. And, when I look at people these days trying to sort of find their, sort of calling in life, the universe gives you clues. The universe gives you guidance as to where you should be going. So don't ignore the clues. Because I remember very early on, I was always sort of very interested in recruitment. 25, 30 years ago, I was interested in it. And it piqued my interest, and it took me about 5 to 6 years before I actually officially went into the industry. But I was studying it before that. So if you find yourself sort of studying an industry or being, pulled to an industry or fascinated with what that industry does, that might be the sign that maybe that's where you should be heading. So wherever possible, find something you enjoy, and if you can, stick with it. Reinvent yourself multiple times, reinvent the offering. But the longer you can stick with something, the more likely it is you're going to be successful in the long term.